Yo, my name is Stix and welcome back to another episode of Player Pass, a video series where I play brand new gacha games and tell you whether or not you should play or pass on them. Today we're taking a look at Heavenhells. This is a game that's actually a lot of fun as a game, but it just does so many things wrong that it genuinely deters me from playing it. Like, I've been playing it for about 7 hours now, and I've powered through very little. Actually, very little. I've been left in a state of confusion because and confliction, I think, because I want to play the game, but I can't. I wanted to stream the game, but it crashed my stream. And if you look over on the side here, you'll see that it's not actually rated very highly. A lot of people actually rated it quite poorly. And that's because of a lot of core fundamental issues the game has, which we're going to go ahead and get into. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's the title screen where this thing right here, this repeatedly screwed me over every time on an emulator. I tried LD Player, Moo Player, BlueStacks. I tried to play the Google Play emulator thing. Like, every single time I went back to that goddamn title screen, the game would crash. Every single time. It got so bad at one point it crashed my entire computer. And at that point, I gave up trying to stream it. So I downloaded it on my phone. I figured, you know what? It might work here. And honestly, it does. Now, as you can see, there is a collective right now of what seem to be schoolgirls. I think they are. They're part of a paramilitary. And I don't know why. Like, the story is actually surprisingly interesting, but I don't know why we've employed schoolgirls. It started off very cool, very dark, very messed up. It was missing some music, it was missing some sound effects. So evidently they need to probably quality check this a little bit. But there are multiple different things that you can engage in on the title screen. We're gonna go through this piece by piece. Daily life, the Eden Academia Alzora. This is a method here with which you can actually take your characters on dates. I'm gonna go ahead and take Hina here. I'll proceed with her date. We're going to what seems to be a museum or a mall. It says the world of art. So this is episode 2. You can, I think, okay, no, it's actually not voice acted. Interesting. So, I mean, you know, the characters are cute. Some of them do look like they're, you know, equivalent to the stage of school that they are in. And others look like actual, like, fully grown women. So I was a little confused as to what the specific age is here for characters. I don't know if they're like high school kids or if they're college kids or what. Like, it's all very confusing. Then there is the witches tab. This is where, because the characters here are actually called witches, this is where you can take a look at the different characters you've recruited. A lot of them are actually kind of shit looking. Like, I'm immediately call it out. I can go through so many of these characters that look like fucking NPCs. I think this might be one of the, in terms of the character models, one of the ugliest gacha games I've seen. They're just so freaking ugly. There are a couple. Like, I have the majority of these characters locked right now, but even like the max rarity ones look kind of crap. She's one of the few that actually look good. We have her. She looks decent enough. Like, seriously, some of these characters look like actual fully grown women. So it leaves me very confused, but some of the characters actually look decent enough. And then, like, the vast majority of them look absolutely terrible. Now, you can view details here. You can level your characters. And this is one of the issues, the many issues that this game has. Leveling. The acquisition of materials is abhorrently bad. Like, you need, right now, credits to level your characters. You also need EXP cores to level your characters. I have 7,000, but I only have, what, 120k credits. It is very difficult to acquire the materials or resources here to level your characters, which means you're constantly limited. You're constantly gated from progression, and I hate that. There are multiple different skills that each character has. You can level these up, but unfortunately, I cannot farm these right now because I'm too low level. 7 hours of game time is apparently not enough to start farming skill materials. You can awaken your characters. I've actually awakened, like, this one right here. The dupes are very powerful. Like, this, the first dupe here, 20% increased attack, 30% increased HP, 20%. Those are actually pretty damn significant. Then there is gear. And I think actually, let me point out real quick, I feel like this game, Heavenhells, is essentially a 3D Blue Archive. I loved Blue Archive. It was and still is a very narrative-rich, very enjoyable gacha game. This feels very much like that, just with fully three-dimensional characters. You have gear, much like in Blue Archive. You level your gear, much like in Blue Archive. You farm your gear from each individual stage, much like in Blue Archive. So if you played Blue Archive, you're not gonna have an issue with this one. There is live 2D and 3D animations, character portraits. I think in a lot of instances here, the live 2D looks vastly superior to the 3D. And that's the Witch, the entire Witch feature. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. There is the hub where you can fix up your squad, which consists of 4 different characters, by the way. There is the power of the tabula, this is actually kind of a cool feature. You essentially have like various different talent trees that you can pursue here. There is the super protection, power boost, and slow Hellion at present. I don't know if they're going to expand on that or if there are more and I just don't have access to them yet. But essentially you can level up various different skills, talents that continue to passively expand your strength, your entire unit strength. There are witch achievements and there are commander achievements. These are pretty self-explanatory, very basic. There is a shop. The New Year recruitment package is currently $8. You get explosive benefits. There's a New Year growth package. There's the first meeting, second meeting, daily supply packs, weekly supply packs, monthly supply packs, special supply packs, quartz supply packs. I also want to point out here, and I actually genuinely fucking hate this. I think it's obnoxious and obscene, but they have the Start Pass number 1, Operation. The Start Pass number 2, Operation. The Academy Attendance, and the Special Operating Pass. They have 4 fucking battle passes going on at launch, dude. How much money are they trying to milk from players? The worst part is, this is $8, that's $22, this is $15, and that's $22. $22, $44, $50, $65 worth of battle passes. $65. What the actual fuck is wrong with this? Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on. Let's not dwell on this too long. Then there is the gacha. There is not 1 limited banner, not 2 limited banners, not 3 limited banners, but 4 current limited banners going on at launch. There is a permanent recruitment banner, and then there is the this one. Now, there is a 50-50 present. When you hit 80, you have a 50% chance here of obtaining the limited banner character, and then you have a 4.16% chance of acquiring all the other characters here. At 150, you are guaranteed the limited banner character, which means that the guarantee is at 150 and the 50-50 is at 80. That's pretty much exactly like WooWa. At WooWa, however, the 100% guarantee is at 160, so it's, you know, it's close enough. It's practically comparable. The actual percentage of unit acquisition seems to be 1% for the limited banner character, and then 0.7% for all the other SSRs, 1.3% for the SR characters, or some of the characters actually are at 0.1429%. Okay, that's interesting. So the rates aren't great, but they're not terrible either. The gacha itself, and as you can see, costs 3,000. Now that's honestly kind of quite a substantial amount. It's not 5,000, but at 3,000 would be okay in theory if you were given a lot of premium currency, but you're not. On the contrary, when global released, or shortly before global released, Korea decided to nerf the rewards. They decided, because Korea at launch got 100 premium currency for every single clear of a main stage. So I'm pushing through stage 2, and I've hit a wall here. I can't push beyond main stage 8-3. But as you can see, the rewards are listed under the Operation Success rewards. That used to give 100 premium currency for every single pull. That's not the case anymore. On the contrary, it seems like they decided, and now Korea also is suffering from this, that you don't need those free pulls. You don't need, the people that started actually ended up with thousands, if not tens of thousands of premium currency, which gave them dozens of 10 pulls that we can't do globally. I covered this in a tweet. A lot of people discussed it online. They called Korean favoritism. I think that's true. I think that's valid and very much so legitimate. And you know, while we're here, this is the main game mode. You have your story. You have the various different stages that you can engage in. I'm gonna go ahead here and show you stage 8-3. I have 3 level 15 characters, a level 20 character. I'm gonna deploy here. You deploy 4 different characters. Each character has their own weapon type. Each character has their own special abilities. Each character has their own utility. I'm going to, this is a boss battle, so I'm going to let it kind of engage on auto. You can do it manually if you want, and the combat's actually very much so like the Warcraft as well. You can direct and point and control where your attacks go, whether they're like conal AoEs or circular AoEs or AoE buffs. I think it's very cool, and as you can see, the combat itself looks great. It looks like the character models look really good. They look crisp, they look high quality. The monsters look great, crisp, high quality. Characters move fluidly. Animations look good. The UI doesn't look bad in combat. You can see your special abilities down the bottom left. These are your ultimate abilities, essentially. You can see each character's individual abilities down the bottom right. Here is the boss fight in specific, who's about to fuck me up. Slimepore. Whoops, didn't mean to say that. Okay, I'm actually gonna go ahead here and use the ultimate abilities, just because I'm curious if it's going to actually benefit me at all. It's probably not. I've failed this every single time I've done it, but you know what? We're gonna try anyway. And as you can see, my characters are dead, and they're all just getting incapacitated. Dead. 2 are incapacitated, can't use any more ults. Third one goes incapacitated. Fourth one's about to die, and she's using Azure Thunder Spin, but can't even kill any of the ads, and I'm dead. What the fuck? So yeah, like I've hit a wall. I can't progress any further. I can't level my characters any further right now because I don't have the currency to. I can't grind any further. So I have to wait until tomorrow. Like, effectively, I have to wait until tomorrow. You're gated from progression. It scales up incredibly fast, and it's very unfair. Thankfully, you can sweep infinitely, which I think is really good, as opposed to in, like, what did I cover yesterday? Time in squad. You can't sweep in that game, and it's fucking obnoxious. It really genuinely sucks when you have a sweep function, but you can't make use of it effectively. There's the special operation. This allows for you to engage various different instanced encounters. Here we have the Mammon Extermination. That's the exact same thing as what we just did. You essentially fight waves of enemies. There's the Dungeon of Umbra. That's also the exact same thing we just did. There's the Dungeon of Illumina. It's the exact same thing we just did. There is the Simulation. There's the Entry and Advanced. Unfortunately, since I'm playing this on Sunday, all I have access to is the Advanced, and the recommended CP for Advanced is 38,000. Now, I can't do the entry from Monday through Friday because it's a weekend, so I'm locked out of it. That's stupid. Actually stupid for new players. I don't know why they would do that. I genuinely have no idea, but that's the game mode. That's the story mode. Then we have the missions. They're very much so the missions you encounter everywhere. There are daily missions or weekly missions. You just complete them. You get some materials, some resources. There's the command feature. This is the guild, which, I mean, you can get some rewards by participating, not really a whole lot. I never really like to or engage in guilds anyway in gacha games because they just seem kind of pointless. There is by logging in for an hour, you're given this feature at the top left. You're rewarded with like a little thigh shot, but you're rewarded with an item like materials or a currency or something. Like here, I got 2,000, 2 grand. That's it. This could get me nothing at all, which is absolutely depressing. There's the Doki Doki Sweetheart going on right now. This is, I mean, like kind of like a daily login thing where you log in for a number of 14 days, you clear the various different objectives, and then after all of that, you get the blonde big booba girl on the left, who I actually really do like the looks of. You can also go out on dates with these characters as well, which is, you know, I mean, if you're into that, then you can. I've honestly never really been like all that fond of all the character interactions in gacha games like this, like when characters message you or when you go like have that little like a cutscene with them to raise their affinity and shit. Like, I don't know, it feels It just takes forever, and I normally skip through it or skip it entirely. There is the blockade feature, but apparently I need to clear designated district stage 8-3, which I have not cleared yet, and I can't clear yet because I am gated and I am locked. And that's honestly the game. Like, there really isn't a whole lot else to it other than that, at least from what I've played. Now, at the end of the day, I would say if I weren't locked or gated in terms of content, and I could play the first like 5, 6, 7 chapters pretty much at my own pace, I think the character models are beautiful. I do. I think the character models are very high quality and they look really good. And it reminds me very much of Blue Archive, which is great. So I like the character models look really good. I'd give that a solid 7 out of 10. I think the combat's very fun. I'd give that a 7 out of 10. I think the soundtrack, the music, the voice acting is solid. I'd give that like a 6 out of 10. However, with regards to the gacha, would not give that a high rating. You actually are given almost nothing in terms of premium currency, and the gacha rates are also not very good. So because you're not given anything, you can't actually utilize the gacha. In 7 hours, I've done 2 10 pulls. That's it. I've exhausted every single thing I can do in the first day. The gacha is not very good. The economy, the cadence with which you acquire premium currency to do pulls, fucking atrocious. The free-to-play friendliness of this game, non-existent. So because of those 3 core facets of the game, I would say this is not a very good game. As a game, the core of the game is really good and very fun, but there's so many issues that the game has that just prevent you from really enjoying it. And like when you compare it to Blue Archive, which is incredibly free-to-play friendly, like why would you just not go play that game where you're given so much and rewarded with so much? If these games want to compete with the titans of the industry, you have to be better than them. You can't be stingier than them. That's just stupid. And it's gonna get you nowhere. People are just gonna quit your game. And then what you see over on the side here, that's gonna be the end result. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.